as you can see here, guys, I'm going to be doing a little bit of a presentation, something a little bit different. So we got three characters here, guys, and I want to kind of dive deep into some of the psychology and just give you my take on something I've looked into and I find very interesting. Now, I've got AJ on the left, Francis Ngannou on the right, Tyson Fury in the top. Now, as you can see, the arrows are pointing in that direction, to the right. What might that mean, guys, if you point an arrow to the right? Before I even start the video, before I even tell you what I'm going to be talking about, you have a guess. What could this be about, guys? AJ is going to the right of Ngannou, Ngannou is going to the right of Fury, and Fury's going to the right of AJ. Again, this is just some sort of theory I've created. I'm just going to play about with it. So before I go into it, have a think of what it could be. What could it be? Does Joshua have more whiter teeth than Ngannou? Does Ngannou have more whiter teeth than Fury? Well, Ngannou's not showing his teeth here. But okay, now that's out the way, guys. Let me get really into it now. So I'm going to take you to the next slide. Now on the next slide, I've actually flipped the arrows around here. And now I'm going to show you something else. So I've got here Ngannou, lack of fear of AJ. AJ, lack of fear of Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury, lack of fear of Ngannou. Can you just can you see where I'm going with this at the moment? Still might not get it. Lack of fear. What do you mean lack of fear? Just work with me with the theory. I'm going to go more into it. So now I'm talking about lack of fear between these people, and this is something I've looked into now. I'm going to say Fury had lack of fear of Ngannou. Ngannou had lack of fear of AJ. I'm going to say AJ has lack of fear of Fury. Next page for you now. The next slide. Now I'm going to look at fear, guys. So in my opinion, and again, I'm going to break all of this down. Ngannou had fear of Fury, somewhat degree. Tyson Fury has extreme fear of AJ. And AJ has a maximum fear of Ngannou. You still can you see where I'm going with this? Yeah, you might still not be able to see that. Okay, so again, AJ had maximum fear of Ngannou. Ngannou had fear of Tyson Fury. It's not a maximum degree, but he did fear Tyson Fury to somewhat level. Now, for my prediction and stuff, which I'll go into, in my opinion, from what I've seen and what I'm going to show you, Fury has extreme fear, of AJ. He has extreme fear. Now, what could all this mean? Fear. Are they scared of each other? Understand, guys, I'm going to go a little bit deeper. It's not about the outside fear. Now, before I go on to the next slide and I talk about the fear and stuff, I want to show you guys something. I want to show you guys what fear is actually is and what fear can actually do to a fighter. Now, for those of you guys who might not have heard this guy, this is a mixed martial artist called George St. Pierre. If you Google him, guys, he comes down as one of the greatest welterweight UFC fighters around. He retired back in 2013 and then he came back for one fight. He won. He retired as a champion, guys, and he's been undefeated as a champion. He's now retired, but his mindset, guys, I want you to just hear his mindset on fear and how he used to feel in the ring and how the fear used to almost debilitate him, but how he used to use that fear in the correct way, which allowed him to obviously win fights. So let's just have a play of this.
Worst day of the year for me is the days that I'm fighting. It's terrible. It's unbearable. I felt I was not in the right field of work because they were telling me, "Oh, I'm happy to do this. I can't wait to fight." And I'm like, "You guys are crazy, man. Me, I'm scared. Like I can't wait that it's over, but I don't like the process." And then I start realizing, I said, "You know what? There's no courage without fear. I should not be afraid to admit that I'm afraid." Wow. And I realize also that fear that I have makes me way more dangerous because I realize that it enhances my power, my reaction time, my decision making. That fear gives me drive to train harder in the fear that my opponent train even harder than me.
Guys, so hopefully you watched that, and as you can see here, he just talked about how the fear actually helped him, guys. The fear actually made him, in a way, better, stronger, better reaction time, more quicker. He didn't want to lose, guys.
My reaction time, my decision making. That fear gives me drive to train harder in the fear that my opponent train even harder.
So he goes, that fear made him train harder because he's got fear that his opponent might be training hard. So now that you understand the concept of fear, guys, I want to take you back to this chart here of extreme fear so you can understand where I'm coming from with it. So Ngannou, fear of Fury, and I'm going to show you all these examples, guys. I'm going to break it down for you. Okay, so what I'm going to do, as I go through all these charts, guys, I'm gonna go back and I'm going to break each chart down, and I'm going to show you examples of this. So as I said, Joshua had a maximum fear of Ngannou. Ngannou had somewhat fear of Tyson Fury. The first fight, remember, he's never been a boxer. He came into the fight, he wanted to test himself. He had somewhat fear. And in my opinion, I'm making a prediction with this one here. Extreme fear from Tyson Fury of AJ. And I'm going to show you the proof where I'm seeing that. I'm going to show you that. So let's go to the next slide. Okay, so have a look at this one, guys. So Fury has very little respect for Ngannou. Yeah.
I'm going to go on record and say this. I could drink 25 pints of beer and still beat Francis Ngannou in a fight.
Had very little respect. Now Ngannou, he had small respect for AJ.
Saying this is a harder fight for Anthony Joshua than the Otto Wallin fight. Do you take that as a compliment? Because they're saying...
No, it's not a compliment. I disagree. Wiley didn't give him a fight. That wasn't a fight. I think it was a training. He had a punching bag in front of him that wasn't reacting. He didn't have any adversity.
He had small respect. Now AJ, he has no respect for Tyson Fury.
Fuck Tyson Fury. Okay. You don't want to talk about that, obviously.
Nah. I was going to say, you know, I don't like trash talking people, but I heard him say something like, oh, I'm here to do commentary about these two sausages or something like that. Bro, that guy that he fought, is an ex-UFC heavyweight champion. A phenomenal story, someone who's changed his life around, and he's just too disrespectful, so forget anything about him right now.
Now let's do the other way around. Ngannou did have respect for Fury. Now, Tyson Fury also has no respect for AJ, but AJ had high respect for Ngannou. Can you see where I'm going here, guys? Can you see it? I'll go back for you one more time. Let's look at it again. AJ has no respect for Tyson Fury.
Fury called you a silly sausage.
This is someone I want to compete with one day, so everything he says is like I've got it all stored in the back of my memory, and when the fight happens, I'm going to use it as a lot of fuel.
So take that, you silly. So who's a silly sausage now?
Who's a silly sausage?
Tyson Fury has no respect for AJ. This is the question mark, if you want to say. I'm going to put a question mark here, guys, because these two are clashing in terms of mindsets here. Now, if I go back, Ngannou had small respect for AJ. He had respect, but it wasn't crazy respect. But I'm going to be honest, you could even say just normal respect. But I'm just going to say small respect, because he said a few things where about his chin, this and that.
Come out and said, I've heard that AJ doesn't have a chin. I'm going to test that out.
I'm going to fight him, so what do you think I'm going to do? Is to look for his chin. I mean, that's what happened in the fight. In case in the fight, you're trying to hit somebody in the chin or wherever you can hit him, right? And then, yes, I heard that he doesn't have a chin. I don't know if it's true or not. We're going to find out. I hope I had an opportunity to test that out. That's my wish. That's what I'm wishing for.
And some of his demeanors and antics around AJ showed that he didn't have too much respect. So when you have little respect, do you notice that when there's little respect, there's also lack of fear? So if I go back to the small respect, what does that equate to? Lack of fear. If you got a little bit of respect for someone, you will not fear him, guys. So it's lack of respect. Now, if we go back to Joshua, no respect of Tyson Fury. Lack of fear of Tyson Fury. Joshua's not scared of Fury. Now, if we go back to Tyson Fury to Ngannou, very little respect.
The monster among men, Braun Strowman. And I'll knock out another big dosseria in him. In another one 3 or 4 years later. So, you know.
Lack of fear again. So you see that cycle of the lack of fear. You see how it plays into this diagram. Now, based off of all this, guys, so I'm looking at the other way around now. So AJ has high respect for Ngannou.
He said, you know, if I land clean on Anthony Joshua, I'm so confident I can knock him out. What's your response to that?
this is the thing. So I'm quite optimistic, and I'm like, brilliant. I want that. So I've got someone in front of me who thinks they can knock me out. But let's see how good they really are. And let's see how good they are, because I'm going to be right in front of them, making it difficult as hell for them to achieve their goal. So let's see how much they really want it. So I can't wait for the opportunity to present my skills and combat this person that thinks they can knock me out.
And Ngannou had respect for it. But again, let's go back. Fury to AJ, no respect.
I could drink 15 pints of beer and still beat Anthony Joshua in a fight.
So if we go back, what does this mean, guys? I'm gonna go back to the fear chart. I'm gonna show you. So no respect towards AJ means. Okay, so here's where we're having a little bit of a dilemma, guys, because I'm saying Tyson Fury doesn't have respect for AJ.
But I just want to say, AJ's a big fat sausage, for sure.
There
Yeah.
we go. We're live.
Shall I say a big useless sausage?
You can say whatever you want, Taz.
Yeah.
This is your stream.
AJ, I know it's been rattling your cage, you big useless sausage. I want to beat this guy, and you've been beat twice, I think. Get up. Slink. I like that for another insult.
In terms of what he says. Now, if we go back to the chart, guys, this actually comes up as extreme fear of AJ. I've put it down as extreme fear. And I'm going to show you reasons why. And if you look at AJ to Ngannou has maximum fear of Ngannou, and he has high respect. And now the anomaly that's appearing here is the extreme fear. If you look at Ngannou towards Fury, initially, I'm going to say there was somewhat fear of Fury. So fear always equals respect. Remember that, guys. Maximum fear, high respect. The only area, guys, where I'm seeing a little bit of anomaly here, and this is looking from a psychological perspective, is, but yeah, so I've put down Fury towards AJ as no respect, but extreme fear. So that's the only anomaly I've put down. Now, if we look at the other way around, Ngannou, small respect. AJ has no respect to Fury. So AJ has no respect to Fury, and he has lack of fear, and what it means. So I want to show you the lack of fear and disrespect. Very little respect Fury shows to Ngannou.
Question. Do you think I'm going to run away from you around the ring, like boxing away, using the jab and dancing? Because you said the 24-foot ring, so you must think I'm going to...
Possible.
Straight out.
Where?
Me and you in the middle.
I don't know about that. I'm gonna find out that day.
25 pints of beer and still beat Francis Ngannou in a fight. If I get my right hand going and I can't miss him because you've got a head the size of a large plant pot, then he's going to be in some severe trouble.
You just heard what Fury just said there straight away. He goes, I could drink 15 pints, guys, and still beat Ngannou in a fight. And at the same time, guys, he's talking about he's got a head that's massive. I'm not going to miss him. So in my opinion, there was like almost no fear at all of Ngannou. He didn't even see him as a threat. Now, based off all the analysing I've done of each of these guys who have faced each other, so the only person here who's faced both of these guys is Ngannou. So if we study and look at Ngannou as a starter, obviously Fury's faced Ngannou and Ngannou's faced AJ. Now, noticed how I've put lack of fear. Fury had lack of fear of Ngannou. I've put Ngannou had lack of fear of AJ. Now, from what I've seen, again, Fury vs AJ is not made yet, but this is for future videos. AJ shows lack of fear of Tyson Fury. There's a lot of evidence for this. I'll put a few videos up as well if I can add those slides in. A lot of AJ's got no fear of Tyson Fury from what I can see through his interviews. You could even say it's a lack of respect.
I mean, did you catch a glance at him today, sitting there ringside? Fuck Tyson Fury. Okay. You don't want to talk about that, obviously.
And now I want to put the arrows the other way, guys, and just show you what AJ feels about Ngannou and what Ngannou feels about Fury and Fury feels about AJ. So I've put here, AJ had maximum fear of Ngannou. Ngannou had fear of Tyson Fury.
At the Kingdom Arena, starting the Riyadh season 2023. The battle of the baddest. Who will be?
Tyson Fury has extreme fear of AJ, in my opinion, in one sense, guys. So just work with me here, guys. So I'm going to go to the next slide now, and I'm going to look at the other thing, which is respect. So Ngannou showed small respect to AJ. AJ showed no respect towards Tyson Fury from everything I've seen. Where I can put videos in, guys, I will. And Tyson Fury showed little respect to Francis Ngannou. Now, bear with me here, guys, when I'm saying this. This is through all the lead up to the fight, all the interviews, and the way he's carried himself. Now, next slide. I want to go the other way. AJ has showed high respect to Francis Ngannou. And then I'll put Ngannou showed small respect to AJ, because he showed somewhat respect, but there were areas, guys, where for me he wasn't seeing AJ as a threat. He got asked about his chin, and he's like, I will test it. And for me, the respect for AJ was very small. Let's go to the next slide. AJ showed high respect to Ngannou. He treated him very seriously. He knew he was a threat, and he took him very seriously, with high respect. Now, Ngannou showed respect to Fury in their fight as well.
I don't want to lose focus against him. He act like a fool, but he's very, very smart. He knows what he's doing, and he's gonna get there. I know what he's doing, so I'm very focused and very ready from everything that's gonna come. I know this fight gonna be tough for me, so I don't just think that I'm gonna go there and walk through some bags and land a punch and go home. No, I'm gonna fight.
It was his first boxing fight as an MMA fighter. So he had high respect, because this was supposed to be one of the best boxers. So he came in there with respect. Now I'm going to put Fury showed no respect towards AJ.
I'm still dismissive of him. Styles make fights, and my style for him is kryptonite. You know, I've always said AJ's built to measure for me. And just because he knocked out that guy with a right hand, it's not the same. Boxing's different, you know. Styles make fights. We've seen he couldn't land any of those right hands on Usyk. A way smaller man, a lighter man. Boxing is a very difficult game. It's changing all the time. Styles make fights, and his style is made for me. When I've got through with a rabbit, then we go down for AJ.
Remember, it was extreme fear and no respect.
Do you think Joshua fight will happen, though? Do you think the Joshua fight will happen with Usyk?
I've never thought it would ever happen. I've told you that many, many times. However, it's getting closer and closer. And with Turkey, I'll shake anything's possible, isn't it? He's the magic man, isn't he?
So let's go to the next slide. Now, this is the one I want to look at, guys. So based off all the information I've given you earlier on about the respect and the fear, AJ beat Ngannou, devastating fashion, knocked him out. And for me, what helped AJ beat Ngannou, don't get me wrong, boxer, skills, everything is correct. But from the psychological standpoint let's have a look. Ngannou himself had lack of fear for AJ. He didn't have too much fear of him, guys. He'd never been knocked out. He never thought AJ could do that to him. He's supposed to have the highest punch power ever. So he had lack of fear of AJ. AJ wasn't a threat to him. He probably thought in his head he's going to walk through AJ the same way he walked through Tyson Fury. Big mistake. Now, AJ, on the other hand, had maximum fear of Ngannou. I'll see if I can find a clip of even Derek Chisora was saying AJ had a lot of pressure riding on him.
AJ had the fear factor of Ngannou in a way that so much was riding on AJ. Yeah, you don't understand, bro. You know, so much was riding on AJ. Like, I cannot make this guy look good. I cannot make this guy look good.
Exactly what I just said, guys. AJ had a lot of pressure on him and he had a lot of fear. He said he had the Chisora says it himself, he had the fear factor. He could not lose this fight because he would have got mocked.
Now, those memes about Ngannou, can you imagine those memes about AJ? Nah, do you understand? So, AJ went in there, trained hard, concentrated on the fight. When he saw the opening, he took it. He didn't want to make him look good. He wanted to school him and say, you know what? You don't belong in this area.
He had the whole of boxing on him. This was big pressure. If he lost, or even if it looked bad against Ngannou, AJ's name would have got tainted. He couldn't let that happen, so he had maximum fear.
When I went to the gym the other day to see AJ,
Yeah.
he taking this like this is a Tyson Fury times 10. He's taking this fight so seriously because if you get beat, you've got beaten by a 0 and 1 guy. I see a side of him that I haven't seen for so long. Before he fought Otto Wallin, I went in the change rooms when he was hitting pads with Ben Davison, and I was like, oh my God, he's back. And I've never seen anything like it. You know, punching with ferocity, confidence, tactically completely on the same wavelength as Ben Davison. And I hoped that it would translate into performance. It did. In a tactical battle with a good stand-up boxer like Anthony Joshua, you should be much too good for this guy. Like, mentally, one of the big challenges in this fight is the mental aspect. You must have feared this guy for gone. And that's very difficult not to do. Right. But you've got to be aggressive, you've got to be smart, you've got to be vicious in your attacks. What you can't do is let him feel like he can walk you down, get you in the clinch, overpower you.
Now, as I've shown you that video, guys, before about George St. Pierre, how fear can actually help a fighter, guys. And I believe fear has helped AJ extremely in the right way. Fear is a good thing, guys.
No courage without fear. I should not be afraid to admit that I'm afraid.
Wow.
And I realize also that fear that I have makes me way more dangerous, because I realize that it enhances my power, my reaction time, my decision making. That fear gives me drive to train harder, in the fear that my opponent train even harder than me.
That fear, that not wanting to lose, made AJ train like an animal. It made him up his game. And don't get me wrong, he probably would have beaten Ngannou anyway, just based off his boxing skills. But remember when he lost to Andy Ruiz? Remember, people forget, AJ is just not a guy who's just going to go in the gym and throw boxing skills and be the best boxer, big powerhouse. AJ had psychological issues. He's been having psychological issues for a long time. He's had to do dark room theories. I've got a few videos on my channel you can check. He's suffered psychologically since the Ruiz fight. He's built himself up. He changed his trainer, Ben Davison, and now he's starting to find himself. But yeah, maximum fear towards Ngannou. Now, Ngannou himself had little respect towards AJ.
He has no fear. He should actually be half petrified that he's fighting a guy that has boxed for 10 years at the top level. He should be thinking, but he's not. He's thinking, one of these on the chin, and it's all over.
Very little respect, in my opinion, because one thing is correlated is you don't fear someone who you don't respect, guys. You only fear someone you respect. So I'm just looking at Ngannou right now. Small respect. Don't get me wrong, there was there, but even I can show you an example here if I can put it up. In the press conference, guys, in the face-off, the last face-off, Ngannou was saying some ridiculous things, guys. He even mocked AJ. He did this left and right look. And then after that, he goes, in an MMA fight, I'd batter him.
I love when you face off with him. There's always a bit of a smirk. Almost like you know something that everyone else doesn't know. There's a little smile on your face. What do you know about this fight on Friday that everyone else doesn't seem to know?
No, I think sometimes it just make me laugh a little bit because I know that, okay, we are going to fight in boxing rules. But what happened if he was just a free fight on MMA rules? I would smoke those guys.
Love it. Your official prediction, Francis, what is it?
And I'm the only one to go in the backyard. None of them can come to my backyard. I'll take two of them at once.
And twice on Sunday, I believe.
I'd beat AJ, but in a boxing fight, back skills. So it was like a lack of respect for AJ as a character. That's what Ngannou showed. But yeah, as you seen that video, guys, you don't. Why would you do that to an opponent before you're gonna fight him? It shows lack of respect. Like, you don't see them as anything. And AJ himself never mocked Ngannou once. I can show countless of examples. I'll see if I can put a few up here.
He's always wanted to be a boxer. He's good, UFC champion, but there's a lot of stand-up game. And in his industry, people have takedown, submission, stand-up, better at kicking. So when he fights, he's fighting people that have aspects that are good in every category.
Called it a gimmick fight then. Is it still that? I mean, this is now you taking on Francis Ngannou as opposed to Tyson Fury when he did. Is it still a gimmick fight?
No, it's the biggest challenge of my life.
Where AJ gave actual high praise to Ngannou. Even when AJ was asked, do you think you're going to knock out Ngannou? AJ's response was, I don't know. He was showing that much respect to Ngannou. He never said, I'm going to knock you out.
Do you expect to knock out Ngannou?
I don't know.
He had the uttermost respect. Now that led to a very good performance, amazing performance. So I'm going to put here, guys, at the bottom, amazing performance, and he won devastating fashion. Now, that's what AJ did to Ngannou based off of So I've showed you the psychological factors just between these two guys. Lack of fear towards AJ. AJ had maximum fear of Ngannou. He had small respect towards AJ. Ngannou did. AJ had high respect towards him, and that equaled, guys, just based off these few factors I'm showing, that equaled and a win for AJ in devastating fashion. So just based off of the equations I'm putting here, guys, is this the formula to win fights for AJ? You've got the perfect formula here. When the opponent shows a lack of fear towards AJ, but AJ shows maximum fear towards the opponent, and the opponent shows small respect towards AJ, but AJ shows high respect towards the opponent, guess what that equals, guys? That equals devastating AJ. So that's the formula for a devastating AJ. Now I want to look at Fury and Ngannou. I want to break theirs down. And that's how Ngannou lost, in my opinion, guys. Not because of the skills and everything that's there. I'm talking about the psychological side. AJ beat him on all levels on the psychology of this Bermuda Triangle. So now I want to look at the psychology between Ngannou and Fury. So let's have a look at that from the start again. So Fury showed lack of fear towards Ngannou. I'll show you countless of videos, guys. He was going as far as saying, Fury was saying, I'll beat you in an MMA fight after.
Fight him, because I think I can beat you in the cage.
general, you're very limited.
I would kick your ass in the cage, no problem.
No, you can't dare. You can't even
100%.
think about that.
100%.
I'll
beat you in the boxing ring,
just
and then I'll
focus
kick
on
your
Riyadh
ass in the
season,
cage.
and then we will see after.
100%. I'll beat you at boxing, I'll beat you in a cage. No problem.
No, bro.
No problem.
Focus on boxing.
No problem.
For right now.
Best at boxing, and I'll beat him in a cage fight. No two ways about it.
This as well. I'll beat you with one hand behind my back. He was standing up in the press conference, guys. He was mocking the hell out of Ngannou throughout the press conference, treating him like a joke.
You're gonna knock that big stiff spark out on my son. And there's nothing he can do about it. My son. No matter who he trains with, no matter what he brings on the night, I'm knocking you spark out on Saturday night. Game over. Out cold.
I think you said
out cold.
Stand up,
out cold. You get knocked spark out. That right hand is going to detonate right in your face, you big ugly dosser. And I'm knocking you out.
I'm ready too.
Out cold.
I'm more than ready.
Over.
I'm more than ready.
Game over. You're going to know what it feels like to get knocked spark out.
You have to, don't you worry.
I know you can't punch. Zero power.
Okay.
Zero power.
Then lift your chin on the way.
I'll leave the chin.
Leave your chin on the way. You're going to find out if I can punch.
Enough to hit it, you big ugly dosser. It'll be there. You hit it. You hit it. How fat he is.
You want my son?
He's not even in shape. He's not even in shape. He's fat, Mike. He's fat.
He did 300.
He's a fat sausage. Look at him. Look how fat he is.
Yes,
a big
I'm
fat sausage.
Yes, I'm fat, but I can.
You're a fat sausage.
You used to knock people out when you were fat. So it's okay.
He got you with that one. He got you with that one.
That's true. That's true.
Now, the difference was, you could say Fury does that to everyone. You're right, he does do it to a lot of people, but the difference is, for example, if you're going to use Wilder, they usually give it back as well. Wilder gave it back. He bit on it, but for me, Francis Ngannou showed a little bit of fear. When I say fear, you got to understand, look at it from the context of the GSP video. when someone's showing someone high respect, because Francis didn't do much trash talking back to Fury unless he needed to, but for the most part, he never really said anything bad about Fury. He even went as far as saying he thought Fury's a better fighter than AJ.
Against Tyson Fury, obviously you put Tyson Fury down, the world went crazy. I saw an interview you did recently where you said if you were to put AJ down with the same shot, you don't think AJ gets up.
Yeah, I have a doubt about that. Tyson showed that he's very resilient. I saw him come back from a knockdown that you wouldn't believe that somebody would come down. So I think he's probably one of the most resistant person out there, and that's not a disrespect to AJ. I don't believe that AJ would take what Tyson.
You don't think AJ's resilient? You don't think AJ has a chin?
As much as Tyson.
Who hasn't knocked Tyson down?
Mm-hmm.
So many people have knocked Tyson down.
Even going to the fight, I knew that even if I knock him down, I would not get excited. That would not mean anything because he always come back. So I have to prepare for a very endurance person. Psychologically, that's how I was.
But I'll put there was somewhat fear from Ngannou to Tyson Fury. Not major, but there was fear there. There was that side where he even talks about himself. He just wanted to make it through the 10 rounds. He didn't want to gas. Look, he dropped Fury in the fight. He goes, I didn't want to jump on him because if I jumped on him and I don't get him out, I was going to gas out. You don't do that if you don't have some sort of fear or respect for your opponent or you're worried about yourself. So there was that fear there, guys. Now, Fury himself had very little respect for Ngannou. Very little respect. Put a clip up here, guys, where he's talking about having a pint, 15 pints, and he'll still beat Ngannou before a fight.
I'm going to go on record and say this. I could drink 25 pints of beer and still beat Francis Ngannou in a fight. If I get my right hand going and I can't miss him because you've got a head the size of a large plant pot, then he's going to be in some severe trouble.
Just, guys, ridiculous claims here he was saying about Ngannou. He took him as a joke. He took him lesser of an opponent than even his other boxers like Schwartz and all these other upcomers he's fought, these journeymen. He took Ngannou on that sort of level, so he had very little respect. I'll see if I can find some few other videos, but up and down in the press conference, just mocking the hell out of Ngannou.
I'm going to knock him out inside 6 rounds.
Okay.
And I shall tell you how I'm going to do it.
Why not?
Got on the front foot, high arm, sicking him with a punishing jab, 19, 20 stone in the face. Boom, boom, boom. Bust him up, swell his eyes out, and then feint, slip, bang. KO. On the front foot, not running away. On the front foot, hand eye, let him hit the shoulder, slip, slip, bang, slip, slip, bang. Down in the heap. Listen, no one can take my power. Nobody. These heavyweights don't have a chance.
Can you take mine?
Yes, no problem.
Okay.
I'm like the bionic man.
On your shoulder or on your shin?
On the chin.
Oh, damn.
But it's my chance not to go out like this. I'm going to keep my chin down. Tucked away behind the shoulder.
No, you better tuck it. You better tuck it pretty
I'm
good.
Neo. I'm like Neo on the Matrix.
Yeah.
Neo.
So it's...
No respect at all, guys. But Ngannou himself did show respect to Fury. He respects Fury's power. If anyone hits you, you can go down. He had a lot more respect towards Fury than AJ. Ngannou did. And I do believe that helped him in his performance against Tyson Fury. Now, I'm going to say, I've put here on the next stage, Ngannou won unofficially because of the performance and from where he was. Most people thought he won. Now, if you look at the official scorecards and if you want to break it down by boxing rules, you probably could edge Fury, but at least it should have been a draw. In my view, it should have been a draw. But okay, if you want to give it to Fury, as those pure boxing pundits want to give it to Fury, give it to Fury. But guys, I'm looking at the bigger scheme of it. Most people thought Ngannou beat Fury. That's the whole reason Ngannou got a fight with AJ. If that fight wasn't close and Fury clearly beat Ngannou versus AJ wouldn't have happened. So I'm going to go with my theory. I know there's going to be people crying when I say Ngannou beat Fury. They can't take it and they shiver down their spine. Like, he didn't beat Fury. What the hell are you on about? And they're going to be commenting in the comments. Well, guys, in my opinion, he beat him. What are you going to do about it? So yeah, he beat him on the cards. Not on the cards. He beat him in the fight, not on the cards. So he won unofficially. Fury's performance was utter shite. Ngannou had the same things as what AJ had, but let's break down why Ngannou couldn't just go through Fury, because one, he's not a boxer. Two, it's his first fight and he doesn't have the skills that AJ had. But based off of that formula that I've just showed you guys, the formula is you have max fear of your opponent and you have high respect for your opponent. That equals a crazy performance. Now, if you look at Ngannou, he had fear of Fury and he had respect of Fury. Now, he didn't have maximum fear of Fury and he didn't have high respect. That's why his performance, in my opinion, wasn't good enough to win. If he had way more respect and he had more fear of Fury, maybe he could have won that fight. But that's one aspect of it. Now, if you look at from Fury's side, Fury had lack of fear. Ngannou had lack of fear of AJ. But Fury had lack of fear of Ngannou. And he had very little respect towards Ngannou. Now, Ngannou had small respect towards AJ. So, AJ had high respect, but Fury had very little respect. So you see the difference there, guys. High respect, very good performance. Fury's on the opposite scale of the spectrum, little respect. So I know a lot of people are saying Fury didn't show up, Fury didn't this. There's no excuses in boxing, guys. I'm just looking at the psychology and why Fury might have lost this fight from a psychological standpoint. Now, as I said, that's the reason, in my opinion, unofficially, Ngannou won that fight. If you want to look at the cards, we know Fury won. That's why I put that little arrow there so you guys don't cry. Fury did win that fight on the cards, whatever. He got robbed. But yeah, here's what it is. Or you're going to tell me, oh, no, you don't know what boxing is. Okay, I don't want to get into that. In my opinion, he won unofficially. Now, the one you've all been waiting for, guys. So I hope that's cleared up some of the psychology, guys, of between these fighters. Now, the one that everyone's waiting for, guys. What's going to happen between AJ and Fury when they fight? Now, right now, Fury's tied in to fight Usyk. I'll do a whole video on that another time, guys. In fact, I've got that one waiting, guys. So don't worry about that one. That one will be coming up at some point. But I'll show you something at the end, guys, regarding that Fury Usyk one. But right now, guys, let's look back to the AJ and Tyson Fury one. Now, we don't have a lot of information. They're not even set to fight right now. Based off the information we have, based off the interviews I've seen, based on the psychology of each person, what they say to each other, and based off what I've seen in recent examples, I've come up with obviously the reasoning of why they make fear or if there's respect there. So I'm going to have a look at each one, dive deep into it, and give my ultimatum take on who I think would win that fight based off psychology as of today. This can change, but from the psychological standpoint, who has the advantage so far? And I'm going to show you. All right, so if we look at AJ towards Fury, AJ has shown lack of fear towards Fury. He's always cussing him. He's always telling him, I don't give a fuck about Fury. He doesn't want to talk about Fury.
I'll be honest with you. Tyson saw that knockout, and he just got up and clapped hands and walked out.
I don't want to say nothing about Tyson.
Don't say anything.
Yeah.
Just by your face, that is it, bro.
That's it.
And
lack of fear towards Fury as well. He hasn't shown anything where he's scared of Fury. He's always saying I'll fight Fury. He's always called him out. There's nothing that shows lack of fear towards Fury. So he's even cussed him out in a couple of videos. I'll see if I can put some stuff up here. That shows a lack of fear, guys, of someone if you're just going to talk bad about him.
Today, sitting there ringside?
Fuck Tyson Fury.
It's usually lack of fear. So, in my opinion now, guys, this is controversial. I'm looking at the fear scale of recent. From what I've seen, the best example I have here, guys, is when AJ knocked out Ngannou and Fury's face just went mashed. I can show you that clip again, guys. Fury has extreme fear of AJ as of right now in terms of the fight. Now, again, I'm not saying this in a concrete way, but in my opinion, from what Fury's seen of AJ, he's fearing AJ. But guys, do not think this is a bad thing. Work with me. This is psychology. Remember that I showed you that George St. Pierre video? I'll show it you again.
Yeah, I'm scared. Like, I can't wait that it's over, but I don't like the process. And then I start realizing, I said, you know what? There's no courage without fear. I should not be afraid to admit that I'm afraid.
Wow.
And I realize also that fear that I have makes me way more dangerous, because I realize that it enhances my power, my reaction time, my decision making. That fear gives me drive to train harder in the fear that my opponent train even harder than me.
That fear can often be a very good thing. So in my opinion, I've got down AJ has lack of fear as of right now. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about respect. I'm talking about fear. In my opinion, from what I've seen, AJ shows lack of fear towards Tyson Fury. Now, from what I'm seeing and everything that's happened in recent days, as of right now, this is April 2024, Tyson Fury is showing extreme fear of AJ. Now, just work with me, guys. Now, from the interviews and everything I've said, when I say no respect here, guys, I want to change that, guys. I'm going to put lack of respect instead of no respect, because yes, there is no respect towards Fury, guys. AJ's always talking bad about him, but one thing I will say, AJ doesn't even sometimes want to talk about Fury. When he gets asked about Fury, he goes, change the topic. So I'm going to put that down as lack of respect. I'm not going to say no respect. I'm going to put lack of respect. He doesn't respect him too much, but he probably knows he can box. So looking at the psychology side again, guys, when you normally have no respect, when you have no respect, let's see who had no respect. Very little respect, very bad performance. Small respect, very bad performance. You got demolished. Now I'm gonna say lack of respect towards Fury. So it's still on this borderline, small respect, lack of respect. It's not usually good, guys. You should, if you respect your opponent, based off what I'm seeing, I'm saying lack of respect. Now, I'm not saying he doesn't have no respect for Fury. He does respect him to somewhat degree. So I can't say no respect, but yeah. Now, Fury towards AJ. Does Fury have respect towards AJ? In my opinion, from all these interviews, even after Ngannou beat AJ beat Ngannou, I would say there was no respect for AJ. The reason I'm saying no respect is because Fury's always said he's a bodybuilder, he's a robot. Even in recent days, after he was asked about the performance, he goes, yeah, I predicted Joshua to beat him in 1 round. He's an MMA fighter, he should have done it, but it doesn't mean anything. When he comes up against me, he's going to meet his match, blah, 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 blah.
I'm still dismissive of him. Styles make fights, and my style for him is kryptonite. You know, I've always said AJ's built to measure for me, and just because he knocked out that guy with a right hand, it's not the same. Boxing's different, you know. Styles make fights. We've seen he couldn't land any of those right hands on Usyk. A way smaller man, a lighter man. Boxing is a very difficult game. It's changing all the time. Styles make fights, and his style is made for me. When I've got through with a rabbit, then we go down for AJ.
So in my opinion, I'm not going to say lack of respect. I think Fury's got no actual respect for AJ. Now, I thought AJ has lack of respect for Fury because sometimes he doesn't even want to talk about him. He just avoids it. So that there is showing somewhat respect, because you do know about it in your head, but you don't want to put it out there. So he does have that little edge, in my opinion. AJ has a small edge in Fury in the respect side, but ultimately he still cusses him out, says a lot of bad shit about him. So I'm going to put lack of respect. But from what I've seen from Fury does like talk a lot of shit about AJ, a lot, and he's been doing it for longer than AJ as well. So I'm going to say no respect. Now, when an opponent has no respect, it doesn't equate to a good performance. Now, again, based off all the factors I've put here, guys, I know you got to keep up with me because this is a little bit hard to get your hand around. Remember, lack of fear from AJ towards Fury. But here's the kicker. I believe right now Fury has got extreme fear of AJ. And so based off of the things I'm putting out there, guys, lack of respect towards Fury. So let me go from the start again. Lack of fear towards Fury from AJ. Now that's not a good thing, guys. That's not a +1. That's just neutral. That's not good. All these, when you have lack of fear, it's not really good. Extreme fear of AJ from Fury, based off of what I've showed you before with the faces and stuff. That's actually good, guys, in terms of fighting someone. That can make you perform at the highest level. So that's actually in Fury's favor quite a lot. If you have got extreme fear, you can perform crazily. So I'm going to give him like +1/+2 here. Now I've put AJ as a lack of respect of Fury. Now I'm not going to put him down as a 0. I'll put him down as 1, because lack of respect still says somewhat respect. Now Fury, no respect of AJ. No respect puts you down 1 as well. So based off of what I've told you guys, it really comes down to the extreme fear between Fury and AJ, the extreme fear of Fury towards AJ, and AJ's only thing he's got is the lack of respect towards Fury.
He said recently, that he could drink 14 pints of lager and still beat you.
Well, that must mean I can drink 24 pints of lager.
Now, if I had to put all this into one concoction and say who's got the edge psychology as of right now, in order to win the fight, guys, as of right now, I'm going to give you my prediction, guys. I put Fury would beat AJ right now with this psychological mindset, with everything going into it. Again, this is just an early prediction. If the psychology of my previous fights that I've just broke down to you, Fury versus Ngannou and Ngannou versus Fury, I'm only looking at the psychological side, guys. Again, I'm not looking at the technicality of boxing. I'm looking at the art of war, guys. I'm looking at the psychological warfare, because, guys, 90% of fighting is psychology. Based off that, I'm going to give Fury the actual advantage in winning the fight. Remember, guys, extreme fear doesn't mean a bad thing. It actually is a good thing. AJ's lack of respect to Fury. Still respect, but lack, not good. Fury's no respect to AJ is not good as well. But he triumphs AJ when it comes to fear. AJ doesn't fear Fury.
I've seen him face to face, and people on video and social media are different.
Is that him?
Face to face. Yes, that's him.
That's when he was on the show.
You know it, right? You can just see. You see what I see, and it takes real
He
vision
actually
to
looks
show.
scared even there.
I agree. He's lost his hair. That's how scared he is.
Being honest, I can't see if he fears Fury. That may be AJ's downfall. If he thinks he's just going to run into the fight with Fury, and he thinks he's just going to stick it on Fury the way he stuck it on Ngannou, or the way he stuck it on Wallin, I think AJ's got another thing coming. Fury's a technical mastermind boxer, but I don't know if he's got those skills right now. But based on the psychology, I think Fury does turn up when he needs to turn up, and when the dial gets turned and the pressure is on, Fury will show up. So again, I'm not saying who's going to win, but as of today, psychologically, I'm giving the advantage right now as it stands. A lot of people are going to be saying, no, AJ would kill Fury now because all these people are flipped. But I'm going to be saying, no, Fury's actually in the driving seat right now. Obviously, he's got a fight with Usyk coming up. But as of today, Fury's in the driving seat. Fury's in the perfect place to start getting his mind right to beat AJ. Right now, AJ's training, he's doing his thing. But psychologically, I don't think AJ fears Fury at the moment. So we see how that plays into fights and what comes out of performances. Now, again, I have put a small side here and I put to be determined. So again, I'm not making my official prediction. AJ definitely could still beat Fury, but I'm going to say it's less likely. I still think Fury would beat AJ. But again, I'm going to go into the last slide now, guys. If you like this video, guys, I know this is a bit strange. Some people are going to be thinking, what the fuck was I on about? And people are not going to get this video. But guys, my channel is different to most people, man. If you enjoyed it, I appreciate it if you give me a like. If you can subscribe, I'd appreciate it. You don't have to do that, though. More videos will be coming. And if you like this, guys, I can do one with Usyk. And I can break that one down because, my opinion, Usyk triumphs Fury in that psychological aspect. I don't want to say my prediction, but I can make a very good one between Fury and Usyk. If you guys want me to do that one, I can break it down. I can add Usyk into the Bermuda Triangle, guys. So yeah, guys, just something different. I thought I'd put some theories out there, play about with it. Let me know what you think. And this is just looking at it from a psychological point of view. But yeah, guys, that's just going to be my video today. And I'll catch you in the next one.